So here we are again, and another week of shenanigans and fun and everything else. And I'm going to leave you to do a lot of talking today, Linda. As
That's okay, Mike. The
I,
first thing I wanted to
yeah,
say, I just checked my Facebook group and
yeah.
it's saying that it's been deleted. The link for now has been deleted in Dr. Linda Kramer Paranormal. There you go.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to put it back up again.
Hey,
Um, so, so
it's not like we don't have a lot of techie problems every week anyway, Mike,
yeah, I mean, this
that
is
we've got to stay true to what we do.
yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. What does it say here? Um, no, it doesn't.
Content not available
It doesn't
is
say
what I
anything
just
here.
saw.
What I'm going to do is just
Oh,
copy the link um, and sort of cut and paste the link,
yeah.
see what happens. But
And I'll just go and have a look too. And isn't it good that we've now, it only took us a year and a half, Mike, but we're now in sync with our clothing. I noticed it last week. We
yeah,
were both wearing red, and now we're both in red again. Yay, it's Christmas every year. You know,
so I'm going to just,
every day is Christmas for me anyway. You know, seriously.
oh,
That's how I live my life. Every day is Christmas Day.
uh, well, I tell you what I'm going to do here is, if I can, and it doesn't seem
Yep.
to want to allow me to do this, more options. I'm going to share the link if it will allow me.
Yeah.
Share on a friend's profile.
Did that was a share that I just heard you say, right?
Yeah, that was a share.
Good
Uh,
man.
so let's have a look. If we go through here, I shall put it up again, just to let the people know I am a very naughty boy. I am in Facebook jail for heinous crimes. And you know the funny thing about it, Linda, is that they keep
What's the
asking me
matter?
to
Tell me.
boost a post. That
Yeah, I know. That happens to me too. I post something and I get this thing and it says your account is restricted for 90 days. Your posts are going to appear lower for people. And then the very next thing it says, do you wish to boost this ad to
yeah,
reach maximum people?
yeah,
So are they doing this deliberately? So we boost it, so we pay, so we get our posts out there to people,
right, yeah,
how far down the rabbit hole do we want to go with this,
yeah, yeah,
Oh, it's just funny, it is. I just laugh every day at what they're doing, darling.
yeah,
As long as we stay true to who we are, that's the main thing. You and I are on a good wicket. I'm sure that our viewers, they're all on a good wicket too, or else they wouldn't be
yeah,
on our frequency to watch us every week.
right,
So I really do appreciate the ones who do take the time and
yeah,
effort to listen to us.
yeah,
So thank you guys for
yeah,
viewing us.
yeah,
We don't do it for our benefit. We do these shows so then you guys learn things. You get to think critically thinking about paranormal stuff,
yeah,
and at the end of the day, it makes us better people.
yeah.
Mike and I, we're not gurus, we're not masters. We're still on our learning curves as well.
Mm,
You know, so please know that we
mm.
just share our wisdom and knowledge of the many years that we've both got combined between us, you know.
I have to laugh though, Linda. One person at my circle calls me master, which I keep saying, stop calling me
Well,
master.
funny thing, well, I'll share a little thing, okay? It's my birthday on Saturday coming, and
Hey,
someone said to me, how old am I turning? And I said, 36 again, because I was 35 when I died, okay?
right,
So actually, I was 36 when I died. So I just stay at that date because that was how old I was when I died, right?
yeah.
So I'm 36 plus a few. I'm 36 plus a few. Yeah.
And that's the way it is. So I got you
I
back
don't act
up.
my age ever. Yeah.
I
Is it
got
gone back up?
I got you back up again. I don't know how long it'll stay back up for, but I just want to tell people that I have been looking to get off of this
Yeah.
Facebook page, and I found a system that does it. It just takes a bit of time for me to do this, so we can broadcast live from our own website, and you'll be able to comment and do
well,
everything. So
I've got one here from you 7 minutes ago. This content isn't available, and 2 minutes ago, this content isn't available. There you go. So Mike Varr has actually said link is not showing in France and VPN UK or VPN Austria. So it's not showing for us either.
So if you just
make a post,
tell them where you can find me. And then we can't carry on like this, clearly, you know.
Well, of course, darling,
so,
you know.
But anyway, very quickly, Linda.
Whoops. Hang on. I'm just, what's this thing that it's trying to do to me? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
So
hang on, I'm just saying, yep, I can multi-skill, darling. I am a woman. Okay.
So just tell me when's your birthday?
Saturday, the 5th of March. Gorgeous man.
There we go.
So I'm 36 again, okay?
Nothing. You're a youngling. So anyway.
Yeah.
Let's find out what's on the show today, and then we'll run over everything we have to say about it. We've got some good stuff on here today. First of all, we're going to have the news from KATHRYN. And then we've got a little clip here of a baby that seems to be attacked is not the right word, I don't think, interfered with by a spirit. Then we got the spirit at a church that's been playing the piano and messing about. We've got the NDE of LOUISE PECK. Another interesting story. They all seem to have their own experiences, these NDEs, and
well, that's exactly right, darling.
And the divine intervention of Miriam Evans and the work of healer KATHRYN KUHLMAN.
Well, yes. Well, I've got my notes because it's all an interesting night again, Mike. You know, and thank you again for getting us some very interesting and debatable, discussion-worthy videos, you know, because that's what we do here, guys. We don't, you know, we just don't post stuff and say, oh, yeah, this is paranormal. Is this paranormal? What do you think? How are they doing this? You know, we want you to entertain that critical thinking part of your brain where you try to understand why these people have had the experiences or the gifts that they possess, so, you know, we can all work it out how this thing about paranormal and psychic and NDEs and ghosts and angels and all the rest of it combined, how it all works. You know, because there's, you know, well, darling, there'll be a Nobel Prize out there for somebody who cracks the code, I tell you. You know, and I can hear you tinkling with your cup. I'm on my honey and lemon again. Here's my honey and lemon. You know, because well, darling, I talk every day, so of course I lose my voice. You know, and I've burnt my throat. Me.
So.
Yeah. Well, let me go there. You just save your voice. Mike was eating yesterday. He ate something he shouldn't have eaten that was too hot, and instead of spitting it out, he swallowed it, and it burned his throat.
Yeah.
So he's got a little bit of a sore throat now.
Yeah.
On top of the little sore throat that I get because I talk all day anyway. Hello. So yeah, understand it if Mike just wants me to talk tonight, and if I do this, it's Mike's turn.
Super.
Or roll the next video.
Yeah.
You know, because we've got to, you know, we've got to get through our videos, obviously, because we've got some really good stuff again tonight to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, let's kick off with the news from KATERINA. See what she has to say.
Awesome.
Here we go.
Brilliant.
Hello, my curious friends. My name is Caterina Campagna, and I know what you're here for. You're here for the Open Door News segment. You know, the news that makes you go, ah! Brr. Or simply, what the, I can't believe, why is no one else talking about this? Well, I'm here to talk about it to you today. We're going to start off with Lucille Ball. Now, if you haven't seen Being the Ricardos, what are you waiting for? After this program, go turn that on because what an exquisite film. But if you happen to be at 77 Roxbury in California, you can see Lucille Ball's ghost. That's right. The star that passed away in 1989 is been sighted at her old home despite it being torn down by new owners who bought the property from her second husband, one Gary Morton. They say that she's been in the attic throwing objects. They have unexplained broken windows, hear voices and noises as if a party was happening. And one time, a friend of the departed icon drove past the house before it was built, and she says, rebuilt rather, and she says that she saw an apparition of a red-headed thin figure, and she looked distraught, very puzzled that there was no longer a home on her lot of land. From the famous to the infamous, on May 23rd, 1934, just outside of Arcadia, Louisiana, Bonnie and Clyde were finally stopped. How were they stopped? The cops filled their car full of bullets, and they even towed it through the town with their dead body still inside. Now, to this day, there is a marker there, and if you go to visit this marker of their death and take a photograph, it is rumored that you will see ghostly images of the pair appear on those photographs. I don't know. Can somebody say road trip? Another notorious figure who you could say got away literally with murder is one Aaron Burr. He was the third vice president of the United States, and he was famous for shooting and killing Mr. Alexander Hamilton in a duel. Now, although he skated on the charges, it seems his ghost is spending some time in a purgatory sentencing plane by still haunting his old carriage house in New York, which is now a restaurant on 17 Borough Street. And it is said that visitors and the staff have seen such things as flying plates and chairs being moved as if pulled by invisible hands. Also joining Mr. Burr in the afterlife is his daughter, Theodessa, who has said to be missing ever since she left North Carolina to visit her father in New York and was never heard from again. Here's another Hollywood haunt for you. Mr. Lon Chaney Sr., who passed in 1930. Yes, he was an icon of silent films, is reportedly haunting Stage 31 in Universal Studios. Now, funny enough, it is the place where the Phantom of the Opera was shot, and you can still see to this day Mr. Chaney Sr. running along the catwalk in a cape. Kind of like having two films going on for the price of one. From the Universal Studio story to the Paramount Studio story, Mr. Red Fox, the iconic comedian most known for Sanford and Son, passed, ironically and tragically enough, of a heart attack on Lot 31 at Paramount Studios, and it's said that he still can reportedly be seen there today, walking around in a bathrobe, hanging out, and laughing at the jokes happening on that lot. He's also been seen at his house walking around in a back robe in his house in Nevada, which was eventually taken from him by the IRS. And there he does such tricks as shutting and turning on the lights, as well as opening and closing a sliding door, which was such a problem that the new owners had to have it replaced with a wooden one. But now that one just swings open and closed again. He's still coming to join us all in the afterlife. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were spooked, riveted, entertained, and I hope above all that you stay curious.
I'm kind of laughing there because Katerina's showing her young age by talking about the Ricardos and not the Lucille Ball show, which is what I remember. Of course, she wouldn't
That's what I
remember it, or
remember too. Hang on, I'm only 36 years old.
yeah,
It's all good. One thing that did surprise me through the week, Mike, I don't know if it's on the screen, but I can see it. See how I've got a door here?
yeah,
I mean, in this is a spare room where I've got my computer set up. And I did a video, I think it was yesterday. And just as I get to the end of the video, my door was shut and the door opened and you can see it open in the video. And I just look around. It's like, oh, yeah, another ghost coming in to say hello. I don't even get fazed by it,
No,
you know,
no,
because I'm so used to it.
yeah,
But, yeah, so it's the video I did yesterday, guys, on Dr. Linda Kramer on YouTube. So, yeah, the door opened by itself. So, you know, we talk about when, like, which one was it? Colonel Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton, the ones that did the duel. How do we know who is actually the ghost at these locations unless somebody has physically seen the face to identify it to a photo, or they've identified them by saying, my name is, you know, because so many people, they, you know, this is just, I'm not poo-pooing anybody here that does ghost investigations or anything, you know, because everyone that does it is great, you know, because it's getting the word out there about it. But they assume, and this is the thing, people assume who it is because that's what I liked about the Lucille Ball story, because people see her at 77 Roxbury Lane and they say it is a woman of her description with red hair.
yeah,
So we can virtually say it's her because no one else of that description has died at the location.
sure.
So, you know, I do like it when we get that confirmation of it looks like the person, or they say, my name is Lucille Ball or whatever, so we can confirm who the person is that's actually there, you know, because we could say, oh, yeah, someone died at this house, but 200 years ago there might have been 20 people that died at that location before the house was built, and they're still there in that ghostly experience. So, you know, I do like getting that confirmation of, you know, you take a photo so you can match the photo to who is actually there, you know? Yeah.
And of course, you know, Hollywood and the energy of Hollywood, and, you know, it's a really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very ego-driven energy. And
geez, that's politically correct.
Well, there you are. I've said it.
I'm sitting here smiling, thinking, what's Mike going to say to this? What's he going to say? Hollywood is what?
Well, it's many things, which is unspeakable, but it's certainly ego-driven. And if you've been in that environment where people love you and praise you, and you are the top dog all the time, then I think there's more opportunity for you to not want to do anything other than come back to where you are.
Yeah. See, that's what they said about the guy who had the heart attack. One of them, whichever one it
Red
was,
Fox,
Universal or Paramount. Yeah, I think it was him. Yeah, he had a heart attack wearing his robe, and now people still see him in his robe walking around. Because obviously, you know, in his heyday, he would have been very popular. So do you think he wants to give that up? You know? He doesn't want to give it up, so he's still there. You know, and then as the years pass, people don't talk about him, or, you know, they're talking about the new next actress and stuff that he doesn't know about because they're born after his death. So, you know, that's why he's now decided, oh, man, maybe I shouldn't hang around here anymore. I'm not popular here anymore. You know, so, you know, they do have that awareness in their consciousness whether to stay or go. You know? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
So, yeah.
Well,
there you go.
Let's get on with our first segment here. This is the tale of the little baby in her crib or a cot, and seems to have been tampered with, as it were, by a spirit. Let's have a look, because I know you've got something you want to say on this. So here we go.
When Reddit user DankyKang's GF captured this creepy clip, they decided to post it to the social media platform, hoping to get some answers. The footage is taken from the uploader's baby monitor, which overlooks their 2-year-old child as they sleep. Take a look at what happens. The uploader believes that it appears as though their child's feet are being pulled by some sort of unseen force. Unfortunately for the uploader, many viewers agreed. If you take another look at the clip, it certainly does seem as though the child's legs are being wrenched in some way. But what do you think's going on in this video? Do you agree with the viewers on Reddit, or is there another way to explain what's going on here? Let me know your theories in the comment section down below.
So, shall I give you my bit first?
Absolutely. I was going to ask you to go first.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
So what I would say is running with the idea that this is real. I would run with the idea that this is real. And if that's the case, then this is a very naughty spirit for tampering and messing about with this babe. My view of this would be, if it's real, and I think it is, then this spirit would have to be told to go, because it's not acceptable what he or she is doing to the babe. But I think it's real, and I'm happy to be contradicted by you, who's got a much keener eye than me on this stuff.
When I first watched it, because hello, this is one that I've watched a few times, okay, to verify it. I saw it the first time, and instantly I was taken back to when my own daughter was a baby.
Right.
Just so the viewers know the story with Tash, my daughter, I had her at 26 weeks. She was in hospital for about 3 weeks, and then I brought her home. So she was still only like 29 weeks when I brought her home. For the first 2 or 3 months, I didn't sleep much at night because I was just watching her every night because she was such a premature baby, okay? So I was watching her religiously, and when she used to be asleep, she would just suddenly wake up. So, and that's what we've seen in this clip, right? The baby's just instantly woken up. Tashi used to do that. So I'm now comparing what my own child did to this one. But when she used to wake up, her knees would come up under her, like the, what do they call it? The fetal position.
Yeah.
The knees come up under her chin, and then she would sit up like a kangaroo with her little hands out. Her legs never used to go back like that.
No.
No, because babies don't go down like that.
No.
So it doesn't look right to me as a parent watching it, okay? Yeah. So then I watched it again and I watched it again, thinking, okay, could this kid, you know, he's on his elbows, could he be pushing himself backwards down the crib? And I thought, still doesn't look right. So there's something else in there, okay? So with all the, like, maternal watching of my own daughter, you know, because I watched her for years when she was asleep, you know, because she's always been a sickly child. Something's not right there, Mike. Yeah. You know, something's just not right there. Yeah. How the legs just go straight down, and it's like he's trying to get up. Yeah. Up. Yeah. You know, because when kids wake up, they sit up. Yeah. And that's something that's a lot, you know, it's very common with a lot of kids, you know, so a lot of parents will agree there. When the kid wakes up, and it is instant, the kid wakes up and they sit up in the cot. Yeah. You know, and it's a bit of scare. You walk in there and they're sitting there looking at you, and it's, you know, it's a bit of a scare. But, there's something not right with how his legs go back down. You know, obviously if someone's watching, please comment what you think, you know. It'd be interesting.
Would you agree, Linda, that under these circumstances, because it doesn't appear to be a loving grandmother in spirit, tucking a baby in and
No
being
loving grandmother would do that.
No.
No.
So would you agree, because I know how you feel, that, you know, you don't tell spirit that they got to go into the light and blah, blah, blah. But would you agree that,
No.
that this spirit has to be told to leave the building for what
Oh,
it's doing?
yeah, that's setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's setting boundaries.
Yeah.
I have boundaries. You know, I've got ghosts in my house,
Yeah.
and I have boundaries. No ghost is allowed in my bedroom.
No.
No ghost is allowed in my daughter's bedroom. They're not allowed to come and watch me having a shower. Okay? When I go to bed, they've got to be quiet. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, so I have boundaries in my own house.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you've watched that video I've had 2 videos now in 2 weeks. The other day I was filming, I was here alone. The front door was locked. It was shut and locked. My front door opened and then it slammed violently. You can hear it on the audio in this video I did. And then yesterday, the door opened. Right. See this door? It was shut and it just goes meow and opens. Right. And, you know, I even said in it, look at my hair, because the window was closed.
Right.
So we can't dispute that sort of experience. Right. But we've got to set the boundaries. Yeah. You know, I would be certainly going into that kid's bedroom and saying, whoever's in here, you are not permitted. I'm the lawful owner of this house. You have no right or permission to be in here. Yeah. If you persist from this day forward, archangels are coming in to remove you. Yeah. Because the archangels do come down and remove ghosts. They do. Yeah. You know, all the time they do. Yeah. So, you know, you threaten them. Yeah. If you don't comply, this is going to be your punishment. Yeah. So I've set those rules in my house, and they're happy to do what they do. You know, I allow them to do whatever they do. Yeah. But, you know, there's certain things that they can't do. Yeah. You know, they're not allowed to throw things at me. I don't mind if you throw things past me and let me know that you're here.
Out of the way.
But don't throw them at me. Yeah. You know, because it's about once or twice a week. Excuse me, I just burped. Once or twice a week, I'll see something moving, and that's only because I've got 2 living rooms, a dining room, kitchen, bathroom, toilet, 3 bedrooms. I can't be in every room at once, right? Yeah. But I notice it. I actually see it about once a week or twice a week, where something will physically move. And I just think, cool, thank you for letting me know you're here, because I'm not fearful of them,
No.
Which, I feel like I've got the Supergirl cape on at some points, especially when things do take a launch, things do launch themselves and they'll just, woo, and you think, wow, where are you putting that one now, But I just let them do what they want, so I respect them, and they respect me by abiding by the rules of the house. And that's one thing I do say. This is my house, my rules. If you don't like it, there's the front door. Yeah.
I've got the same kind of philosophy. But, I mean, I haven't seen... I've had a spirit cat the last few days walking past the door. And I know it's a spirit cat because I keep thinking it's my cat, Bella, coming in. And I go to open the door and there's nothing there. And when they walk that way, all they can do is walk into a wall. There's no exit that way. So this cat has disappeared for about a year. And I guess it's decided to come back. That I don't mind at all.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I've got a dog in the house. I don't see him all the time. But, there is a dog. He likes playing in under my dining room table. I see him run, and you see his tail, because his tail sticks up in the air. And as he runs, you see the tail, because the head area is not there. It's only an apparition of like the back legs and the tail that you see running through the house. But a lot of people in my house have seen the dog running through the house. And they go, and I say, what did you see? And they say, oh my God, he's got this big white fluffy tail hanging up at the back. So, that's the dog. Obviously you can't set boundaries with an animal, but animals generally don't have the same characteristics as humans do. You know, they don't hang on to regrets. They don't hang on to grudges. They don't hang on to retaliation and manipulation.
Sure.
You know, they just want to hang around because they obviously liked it.
Yeah.
You know, so put another cat bowl out. That's my suggestion to you, Mike. You know, it obviously likes being here because it's seeing how you treat your own cats.
Yeah.
You know, so you give him a toy, give it a bed. You know, here, kitty.
Yeah.
Here's your bed. Come and enjoy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
Wow.
Okay.
Not that cats can't understand us because they don't speak English.
Linda, we're expected to understand cats because they're superior.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, my cat Mary, she'll be the first one if she spoke English to say, I am the queen.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You know, why do you think her name's Mary?
Yeah.
Queen Mary is her name.
Super. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Good.
Anyway, we better get on to where are we going to? Church Ghost. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a look at this one.
Here we go.
As he makes his way around the creepy building, he manages to catch something unsettling on camera. Take a look.
Is anybody here with me? Chair.
Watching that again, one of the chairs in the room where the dark figure was seen in the previous video moves, seemingly all on its own.
Chair.
Bravely, he decides to go in for a closer look.
What the man?
As he searches the area, he finds 3 books on the floor. Possibly Bibles, these books look as though they've been knocked off the nearby shelf.
That's like they flew off the shelf. Yep. It's totally somebody with me.
The investigator continues his exploration of the old church when suddenly he hears something in the distance.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do in here. Oh. What the? See, somebody's in here messing with me, dude. Somebody in here messing with me. I'm just in here taking pictures.
Unable to find any reason for the mysterious music, the investigator becomes distracted by a loud banging noise coming from another room.
Oh,
Then, as he does, the piano starts to play once again. Understandably, this is enough to send the investigator running scared from the building, and the video abruptly ends. But a shadowy figure can be seen peeking its head through the doorway at the rear of the church.
So, there you go. I got to say, and this is just me, that the way some of these ghost hunters approach a scene or a building or a room, and the language that they use, I don't know. I don't think they're doing themselves any favours, the way they present themselves to spirit. What do you think? Or is this me?
No, it's not you, Mike, because I have one word for it.
Right.
Amateur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amateur. You know, I look at my video that I did the other day where my front door slams because it was very loud. And this wall in front of me here, the door's right there. So if you take the wall out, it's only about 3 foot.
Right.
It scared me because you can actually see my hand go like this. And I just said, excuse me, did you hear that? And I've actually looked at that and I think, how calm was I? You know, that could have been someone coming through my front door and robbing me.
Right.
But I was so calm Because one thing with being a paranormal investigator, you've got to leave your emotions at the door.
Yep.
You can't go in excited. You can't go in, oh, I hope we get something tonight, with anticipation. You've got to go in very, very relaxed, in a high vibrational state where they feel your energy as being welcoming, where they will come out and interact with you. This guy is very amateurish, okay?
Yeah.
I will go there, okay? There's a few things I don't like about this one. When he saw the chair move,
Mm-hmm.
I would have been walking up there straight away. You don't just pause and you think, what the hell was that? As soon as you see something, you've got to act on it.
Yeah.
Because it may be being dragged all the way out that corridor. So you've
Right.
got to get that on film. You know, this is where critical thinking comes in when you're doing paranormal.
Yeah.
You've got to be, because there was all corridors and doorways off where that chair was in that room.
Yeah.
So you've got to get up there ASAP, but you've got to stay calm about it, okay? So you've got to leave your emotions at the door.
Yeah.
So then when the music started playing at the piano, why the hell did he walk away?
Yeah.
You know, you've got something happening right here. There's
Yeah.
a bang in the other room. So obviously now we've got two ghosts there,
Yeah.
because a ghost can't be in two places at once. So there's more than one person. But you've got to identify, what am I going to capture? And if something's playing the pianos, don't you want to capture the keys moving on the piano by themselves?
Yeah.
You know? So you've got to be hard with yourself when you're doing paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
And leave the emotions out of it and your ego, because as soon as he walks around that door and he sees the 3 Bibles on the floor, we don't know how long they've been there. They may have been dropped there through
Sure.
the day when kids were playing in the church.
Yeah.
We don't know. But he assumed it, which shows he's an amateur. It shows that he's an amateur, because you can't assume, because that's our ego.
Yeah.
You know, that's our thoughts, thinking, oh, yeah, someone, a ghost must have just knocked them off, the shelf. But we can't assume that, because they're already there. We didn't hear them fall off. We don't know where the bang came from in the house, So, I mean, in the church. So if that was me there, I would have stayed at that piano and pulled up a chair and said, can you play me some more?
Right.
So you're showing respect to the ghost.
Yeah.
Can you please show me what you know?
Right.
Play a tune that you know. And as soon as they know that you're comfortable with them, they'll keep playing.
Yeah.
So, and that would be A1 paranormal video that you could sell to like Netflix. If you're sitting there and you've got a ghost playing the piano next to you. So he missed that opportunity to get A1, what they call A1 evidence.
Right.
He's run off because he heard the bang. That could have been the cleaner turning up at 10 o'clock at night, for all we know.
Yeah.
We don't know what that bang was. It could have been a neighbour backfiring his car as he's exiting the building or something. We don't know. So if you've got music that you can identify coming from an instrument, that is virtually an opportunity that he missed there, because he's an amateur doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not upset with him, because, hello, it's still good footage, but I will go there with one thing that really irks me. They put on all this bloody paranormal suspense music, so you don't hear what is actually paranormal.
Yeah.
There's all this do, and then you're trying to decipher where the piano keys are in that mix. So it does irk me, because I've been on a lot of ghost adventures and I've learned a lot of stuff from great investigators that I know. So, and it only takes years and years of practice to learn how to do this. And that's what I try to teach people by explaining it. If you're there and you've got like a guitar playing, you want to have your microphone next to the guitar so you know the humming of the strumming of the notes, and you can say, well, look, it's not being played. This could either be residual energy, it could be, where we haven't detected it, but it's coming from this instrument right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. also, I think, you know, the question with the music is it can be, I was going to say misleading, but it's the opposite. It's very leading. It creates a sense of drama where they want
Yeah.
your mind to.
And what
to
did
get
I
to-
say?
yeah.
You got to leave your emotions at the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
So by this suspense music creating that drama, that's creating all those emotions to cause fear in the viewer.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
No,
I
I
really don't like it.
No.
You know, I prefer to just watch a ghost walking across Gettysburg Field with no music
Yeah.
than, you know, what I've just watched, you know, because it's you're seeing the real deal.
Yeah.
And you're also hearing the real deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think we're agreed on that.
Well, one thing I did like is that he captured that shadow coming around the doorway. You know, my boy that was in this house when I moved in, he used to do that every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly the same. You know, we only showed a footage of it a couple of weeks ago where it had like the octopus things coming out of it as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where it
of
comes
course,
around
yeah.
a doorway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
You know,
great
because
big long
that's
fingers,
yeah, because, you know, they're scared. You know,
Yeah.
they're only human
Yeah.
at the end of the day. You know, they're our human consciousness.
Yeah.
You know, they've lost their body, obviously,
Yeah.
but they're scared.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're going through, most of them. They don't know what they're going through because it's all new for them, even if they've been haunting somewhere for 100 years because they don't have that same time like we do.
Yeah.
And they're scared.
Yeah.
So if you've got someone there saying, "What's that noise? Oh, my God,"
Yeah.
they're not going to come out.
No. No.
You know, so you've got to let them know, one, you're calm, and two, you're approachable and respectful, but three, that you're not going to hurt them.
Right.
Because they're very, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Ghosts are very, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the question. Sorry, I think the question is, who's more frightened of who here?
Exactly.
You know,
you look at the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
It was only when he realized that he could move things around that he realized the power of how scared other people were of him.
Yeah.
So that's why he turned up at that guy's office and was moving the chairs around and typing Sam Wheat, Sam Wheat, Sam Wheat all over the computer screen, because he knew how he was making that other person fearful, you know. And unfortunately, a lot of ghosts are in that same boat where they're fearful until they learn how to use what energy they are now, you know. And I think that's what's happened in that church, you know. I actually felt that it's like a teenage to mid-20-year-old male. That's the energy that I was picking up. I don't know anyone else watching and what they detect about it, but I actually felt that it was like a 18, 22-year-old male, and he's scared.
Yeah.
You know, that's why he's picking around, you know.
Yeah.
He wants them to know that he's there, but who else is there?
Yeah.
Who else was there? Because I'd actually say there was about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Just by what I saw in that little clip. But I can't establish that unless I'm there with cameras and microphones and listening for the noises to know where everything was, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, if someone said to me, go to that location and do an investigation, I'd be there in a heartbeat. Because that guy didn't get anything thrown at him, did he? He didn't get hurt.
No.
So why was he scared?
Yeah.
Seriously? Because
It's
he's
perception,
an amateur.
isn't it? It's perception. Yeah. Okay.
It's his amateurism.
Yeah.
Is that the word? Amateurism?
Yeah.
Because he
We
doesn't
can use it.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to use that one. Yeah, because, you know, if he was, you know, I won't say I'm the best ghost investigator out there. You know, my mate Rick, he's done far, far more than I have, you know, and I've been on a lot with Rick and other people, you know, but you've got to leave your emotions at the door. And, you know, he you know, and why was he there by himself as well? You never go into those places as an amateur, you know, because if you get hurt, just say you got pushed down, broke a leg.
Yeah.
Who's going to come and help him?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know, I've been pushed downstairs.
Yeah.
You know, I've
Well,
had my hair pulled out.
it makes perfect sense. You know, when we actually go mushroom picking, for example, you never go in the forest on your own. It's the craziest thing to do.
Yeah.
For all the obvious reasons. And there's wild boars in the forest, and boy, they
Yeah.
can whack you one and break your leg. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's right. So, I look at ghost hunting the same as snake handling, because in a former life I worked with Steve Irwin up at his zoo. I was a volunteer there. I know a fair bit about snakes and arachnids, because reptiles and arachnids, because that's my forte. And, the first thing with snakes is there's always 3 that go into a snake pit. 3. So if one gets bitten, one stays and watches,
Yeah.
and the other one goes for help.
yeah,
There's always 3 when you go into venomous snake pits. So if one gets bitten, you've got one to watch them to do CPR if they pass out, and one runs to get help. And that's the same with what I classify as paranormal. You're always taking 3, and that's
Yeah.
one reason why I really liked watching Zach Bagans, Aaron, and the other guy, Nick Groff was the other guy,
right.
Ghost Adventures, because there was the 3 of them. So if one got hurt, one's still filming and one goes and gets help.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
as snakes.
Yeah.
So, I value that show, Ghost Adventures, because there was always the 3 of them. They never went anywhere by themselves. And even if when they did split up, they were always on their walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
They were always in communication with each other, so they knew where each one was and what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because, like I just said, I've been pushed downstairs. I had a car engine thrown at me one night. Imagine if that had hit me.
Yeah.
I'd have been dead.
Yeah.
And who was there with me?
Yeah.
Not many people.
You should have called
At the end of the day.
Ghostbusters. Linda, before we go on to the next clip,
Yeah.
I've got a visitor here. I'm going to show you all
Oh, okay.
wherever she is. Where's
There
she
she
gone?
is. She's on the table.
Ah, there she is.
Look at her. Meow, meow.
There she is.
Look at Meow, meow. Look at her tail. I want to cuddle her. Hang on, I've got to get Tashi. Tashi.
She's my boss. She's very
Do you want
demanding.
to come in? Do you want to come in? Get Mary. Go get Mary. Go get Mary.
And
Go
that's,
get Mary. Oh, I love her tail. Look at the colours. Oh, look at all those little smudges on her head. She's so cute, Mike.
yeah.
And I love her climbing frame. We got Mary this thing from Kmart. It's $5, and it's about 2 foot long, and it sort of goes in like an S,
Yeah.
like this. And Mary sits on it and she sharpens her claws. Here comes Mary. Come on. Pass her over then. I can't do. I've got these in. Bring in Mary. Here's Mary. I've got to show Mary. Come on. Oh, my big pud. Here comes my big fat. Here comes my big fat gut. Look at this big fat gut. Here she is. This is mine.
She's
This is my Mary.
She's not amused, Linda. She is not amused.
She's Queen Mary, darling. She's never amused, okay? Look, here she is.
Yeah.
Here she goes. Oh, my
Well,
God.
back to business.
Back to business. Well, there you go.
Before we get
All
on
our
to our
viewers just saw our cats, darling.
before we get on our NDE clip with Louise Peck, just to let the people know, my comments from this sort of little production thing that I'm working from, for some reason, is switched off. But I am getting 28 thumbs up and 23 hearts. So thank you very much.
right.
For some reason, that's working.
Yes.
So while this
That's
next
right.
clip
Well,
runs, I'll see
we'll
if
get
I
it
can.
sorted out, guys,
So,
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've made a comment in my group, Dr. Linda Kramer. So it's DRLYNDA CRAMER, Paranormal. If you go on Facebook, it's a group. Yes, you got to join it. Please answer the question so we know you're not a stalker or a spammer.
right.
Join our group, and you can write heaps of comments in there, because Mike and I are the admins. Well, I started it about 2 years ago. I just didn't think anyone was going to join it, so I just put my name on it. So, I think actually let's do a competition, Mike.
Fire away.
Well, you're an admin of the group now.
Yeah. Oh,
I've been thinking, because it's not just about me anymore, I'm thinking about changing the name.
Hmm.
So, we'll do a poll. I'll do a poll. Should I change the name, yes or no?
Yeah.
And suggestions.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. I'll do that when we're doing our next video. I'll post that as a poll.
Okay.
And see how many people in the group. So if you're watching this and you're not a member of my group, Mike and I are admins in the group. It's Dr. Linda Kramer Paranormal. It's a group on Facebook. Please answer the questions so we know you're not a stalker or a spammer. Okay? And join our group because we've got lovely people in there who do put a lot of good content in there. We're nearly at 2,000 members too, Mike. Yay!
Yeah.
Another one of those unpaid jobs that I do, and you.
As we do.
So, so I'll do a poll, and when we're on the next one, on the next video, because we're up to Louise PECK next time, I'll go and do a poll and just say, should I change the name? If you think yes, please comment your decision down below, and we'll just see what the feedback is, Duff.
Okay.
We might change it to, Global Paranormal or something. I don't know, because you're in Austria, I'm Australia. I don't want to call it the A&A Club or,
Yeah. The AA Club.
Well, I mean Austria and Australia, but I don't want any connotations like that, But we've got to do something there because it has been irking me for about 6 months now. As soon as I hit the 1,000 members, I was thinking, oh, really? It's still called Dr. Linda Kramer Paranormal. So I might change the name of it to something. So we'll come up, make it a decision on the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's go and have a look at Louise, and while that's on for the 7 odd minutes, I'll go and post in my group.
Super.
Okay.
Here we go.
We were at this really cool club that I thought was the coolest club I'd ever been to in Manhattan. And I felt like if there was ever a night that I could really feel okay, this is it. I later learned that it was lidocaine, not cocaine. I remember being in the bathroom in line for the toilet and just thinking, wow, I'm getting tunnel vision, and what a cool side effect that is. That I was dying didn't occur to me. But then when I got in the stall, I could not read any of the graffiti. And I knew some of this is in English, and what's wrong with my brain that I can't read it. Then I began to feel there was no air in the club. And I went back to my friend and said, there's no air down here, there's no air. So on the outside, I had a grand mal seizure, and the bartender began to do CPR. Felt like I had hit my chin on the bar, and that it had worked like a Popeye punch to shoot me straight up in the air. And then I went up into this pure blue sky, and I was just filled with euphoria. And I did have a sense of me as myself, but I forgot all about kind of the job of being Louisa in the world. Like that whole thing had been left with the bullshit down there. I had this feeling that I could do a back bend and a back dive, and so I thought, I'm going to do a reverse swan dive because I can do stuff. That's the feeling I had, I was really like a little kid, excited. So I bent over backwards. It worked perfectly. I did this backwards swan dive, and then I see that the ocean is under me. And I have a brief thought like, oh, isn't it like concrete when you hit the ocean and you're moving really, really fast? And instead of fear, I just had, well, we'll find out. There's no fear. And so I hit it, and it went okay. And I went way down deep under the water. Could see that beautiful, you see it sometimes in underwater scuba diving movies where the bubbles are going up around you. I saw the surface way up there. And I had another little thought like, wow, that surface is way up there. I wonder if I can get there okay. And again, then I'm there right away, and it's no problem. Then I see the shore, and I wish I could say it was a beautiful tropical shore, but it was not. It was kind of I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and it was kind of a Pacific Northwest beach, meaning a lot of barnacles and a lot of seaweed, and it's not like gorgeous like that. But I thought, oh, I want to be there. So the next thing I know, I'm just wading out of the water. I turned along the beach, and I saw a house up on a mesa, I thought, oh, I want to be there. And so then I'm there. And my feeling is like, wow, cool, with everything. Wow, cool. And so one thing though was that the mesa now was kind of a pile of boulders, and they were covered with this really gross slime. It was like rotten seaweed was what I thought. To get to the doorway of this house, I had to climb through it. A lot of people talk about that there's some gross stuff we carry with us, this purging that has to happen, that you shed your anger, your fear, all of these darker emotions. To me, I feel like the sludge was that stuff. I didn't know it at the time, though. I didn't know anything about NDEs at all. So I just thought, phew, that's over with. Once I got above it to the doorway, I had lost my body. I had no body, but I was a little bit Alice in Wonderland and a little bit Snake. Kind of like a slightly bummed that I don't have a higher perspective, but I can go over the door sill into the house. And so I'm like, hey, good enough, good enough. And I'm very low along the ground, so much so that I saw the floorboards in tremendous detail. They were very worn. It was very old. Many people had walked there, and I knew it was my ancestors. In real life, the twerpy vain girl who's back in the New York nightclub did not give a crap about her ancestry, never thought about her ancestors. The spirit that entered this house was thrilled, like, we all go here, and now it's my turn. And I'm so excited to join the rest of us. And I had the feeling of us. So I also sensed my grandfather. Now, he is the only one who I never got to meet. I sensed his joy that we would finally get to meet. Who was he to me? A picture in my dad's closet, but I felt all this joy at the prospect of meeting him. So there was supposed to be a chair in the middle of this room that looked out at the water. I knew there was supposed to be an armchair, and I knew that my ancestors all loved to sit in it and look at the view. And the sun had started setting. I wanted the chair, but wasn't there. But as soon as I said, oh, I wish I could see the sunset, then I started getting pulled along the floor. And even though I didn't have a body, it felt like I was pulled by my heart towards the windowsill. And then up, and I'm thinking, wow. And then over the windowsill, and I started flying across the water, across the path of light that the sun made across the water. I was flying toward the sun. Sometimes little bits of my life would come back to me, and I would think, hey, wait a minute. People can't fly. Is this a dream? Is this real? That's what I thought. And then something answered me, more real than anything you've ever known or done. And I was heading toward the sun, and then I had a thought, it's getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to hit it. Again, without fear, just we'll see what happens. And then I hit the sun and passed through a sort of a filament, and I was in the core of it. Now, knowing what I know now about NDE symbolism, this is so beautiful, because I was an atheist. And I rejected and really despised everything about the church and everything I'd heard about God. But when a human being sees a sunset, we all get a feeling of awe. That's why my higher power led me along that path. I felt awe towards the beauty of the sun. And also my father had taught me that the sun was the giver of life. So if you were to have a physical representation of the source of me, the source of life, it would be the sun. So when I went into the sun, then I was in the light for real. And I was permeated with that joy and that bliss and that love beyond measure. Then I remembered, and this is hard for people who fear death to imagine, but instead of saying like, oh, thank God I didn't die, I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, we've seen that many times, haven't we? You've got to be kidding me. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. And even children, people, mothers who have got children there, they don't want to go back. No, they'll be fine. So-and-so look after them. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. So this power of love and peace and serenity is quite overwhelming for people.
Well, the one thing that I love that she said, I thought I wanted to be there, and I was.
Yeah.
She was in the water and she said, now I want to be out of the water, and she was. Then she saw the mountain or whatever, and she was there. And then she saw that sludge and she said, I want to be above it, and she was instantly there. I know exactly what she's talking about. You know, in my book, I actually say when I was looking at the mountains off in the distance, like miles and miles and miles away, I just concentrated on them, and my whole being, consciousness, awareness, whatever you want to call me, spirit, I was there. If I wanted to be on top of the mountain, I was there. If I wanted to just climb up it, I could. But I thoroughly understood what she was on about. You know, so, you know, there's a lot of people who dispute drug-induced NDEs, but when we've got these similarities, Mike, you can't deny that. You know, how did she know I thought I wanted to be there and then I was, the same as I was? So drugs only affect our physical being. And, you know, this is where I'm trying to prove it now with NDEs, that regardless of the amount of morphine, illicit drugs, or other narcotics that they give us in hospitals or whatever, the trueness of the experiences, those, say, the similarities, the commonalities, they still exist. So I don't think drugs, you know, pharmaceutical, I'll just call it pharmaceuticals, or the mushrooms or whatever people take that are hallucinogenic, but they don't affect our conscious state after the death of the physical body, you know, and she just proved that by what she said, because it was so similar to how I explain it in my own book, you know, and I didn't have any drugs that night, you know, so how could we both have the same, you know, she obviously took narcocaine or whatever it was called, you know, because I don't know drugs, but, you know, but same similar experience, you know.
Well, you know,
that's what I love about it.
I don't think you have to have an NDE or an out-of-the-body experience, or to work on an out-of-the-body experience. A friend of mine is an expert in mushrooms, and he knows what mushrooms to take, and he doesn't get high with it. He said, but you know, he eats the mushrooms, he goes out into nature, and he said, you just become one with nature. It's no longer you and the grass and you and the cow and you and that tree over there. You just blend
one
with it.
You blend.
And he said it's an amazing experience. But Linda, did you want to come back? Did you remember saying, no, I want to stay?
I was talking to my great-great-great-great-grandmother, and she was pretty adamant that I had to come back.
Right.
I wasn't aware, even though in how long I'd been there, I didn't know where back was.
Right.
It was confusing for me, because I actually said to her, go back where? Because I don't know where I am now, you know? So even that thought process, I was critically thinking at that point when I was in that space with her, because I call it the white space, because there was no walls, floors, or ceilings in there. So, you know, and the only thing that was there was the tunnel for reincarnation. And I said to her, how can I go back to where I'm from when I don't know how I got to here? And then she looked at me and she said, all you've got to do is think of it.
Yeah.
And then it dawned on me. Before I actually thought about home, I'd remembered if I wanted to be on the mountain, I just had to concentrate and I was on the mountain. Yeah. If I wanted to be in the city, all I had to do was concentrate on the city and I was there. So I had that conscious thinking process. Yeah. And then she said, you've got to go home. Yeah. And it was like Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. Yeah. And I'm serious, you know, Dorothy in Wizard of Oz, where Glenda, the Good Witch of the North, I think she is, she says, you've had the capacity to go home all the time. Yeah. All you had to do was think about it. Yeah. Yeah. So as soon as I started to think about my house, where I died, my husband at the time, I came back. Yeah. So, you know, it's what we put our thoughts to. And this is going to be one of the videos that I do on my YouTube in the next few weeks, you know, because I've got a long list of videos to do, obviously. But one of them is how we can come back as spirits, how they come back. Because if they think about us, they come back to where we are as well. Yeah. They go through that veil, that dimension, vortex, stargate, whatever you want to call it, but they come through that barrier and they appear to us as spirits. Yeah. And they can give us the messages, the hugs and the feelings that they're here, because it's all emotional for them. Yeah. So, you know, it is a video that I want to do at some point, Mike, You know, just saying, you know, the more that we think about something. Yeah. So, you know, your mum's died 2 years ago. She's sitting in heaven. So as soon as she puts her thoughts out there to through that connection. Right. Yeah. You know, that's why someone like Hitler, he'll never come and visit me as a ghost or a spirit because we've got no energetic connection.
What have you got against Austrians? He doesn't need to think. What have you got against Austrians? Come on.
Nothing. I know one Austrian. He seems pretty cool. You know.
Well, listen.
I'd love to meet his wife too and pat his cat. I got you there, Mike. Got you there. Let's keep going. Yeah, we're going on to
the lesson to learn here is start meditating, because when you're on the other side, you need to still your thoughts, because if you let your thoughts rush around like they do here, you'll be bump there, bump there, bump, 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 bump. You'll be all over the place.
I will go there, and that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Yes. Why do you think we go through our life review? Yeah. So we heal all that stuff. Yeah. You know, and so then when we go into heaven, we're peace, we're calm. Yeah. We can contemplate.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So you are very right there, Mike, you know, because, you know, look at our thoughts here.
Yeah.
20,000 thoughts, when you go to bed, they come to your head. Yeah, very good. All right, well, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Let's get into Miriam Evans.
Miriam
the
Evans.
Divine
intervention.
No, we're doing her? Oh, yeah, because we'll do KATHRYN last. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Here we go.
Hi, my name is Miriam Evans, and I would like to share a supernatural story with you. When I was around 20 years old, I struggled with anxiety and panic attacks in a real way. And it really started when I was a kid. I would have these episodes of just torment and panic that would come in the middle of the night. And it felt like someone was on me, an invisible force was on me and choking me, and I couldn't breathe. I received a baptism of the Holy Spirit. I even received my prayer language to be able to speak in tongues. And I was so excited and happy about this. But later that evening, I went home and I woke up in the middle of the night. And again, an invisible force was on my chest, choking me. I felt just horrible feelings of panic and torment, like I couldn't even breathe. And I was like, why is this happening to me again? Something's broken. Like, what is this salvation? Isn't this supposed to be helping me? And then I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit speak to me very clearly. And he said, speak in tongues and see what happens. Now, I will tell you, there was also a very dark voice that began to speak to me as I was saying these two simple syllables, just telling me, you know what you received is not real. I was filled with doubt. On one hand, I heard the Holy Spirit telling me to speak in tongues. On the other hand, I heard a voice telling me to doubt that everything that I received was not real. God wasn't real. His presence in the Holy Spirit wasn't real. And so I went ahead and just started just murmuring these two little syllables. And as I began to step out into faith and speak in tongues, a violent rushing wind came into my room and began to fill my room, and it was a loud wind, and so much so that I began to grip on to the edge of my mattress because I felt like I was going to blow away. And I know that God was entering me into this open vision. My husband was next to me, and good for him, he slept through the whole thing. And so this wind was picking up in my room, and God opened up my eyes to see in the spirit realm. And I saw what was behind. For the first time, I saw what was behind all of these panic attacks. And I saw demons filling my room, with one that was trying to choke me. And the wind that was in my room completely blew every single demon out of my room. There was no contest. There was no question. The person of the Holy Spirit had been introduced to me in that way, in a very real way, in a very real manner for the first time in my life. And I want to tell you that the next day I woke up, I slept like a baby, and the next day I woke up completely set free from panic, torment, anxiety, and I didn't even need my medication. And not only that, because of the anxiety, because of the panic, I also had a lot of physical infirmities in my body. My back, the discs in my back needed healing. I had a neurological issue at the time that had caused the left side of my face to paralyze and droop, along with excruciating headaches in the back of my head, all for which I was medicated for all of those things. And so later that week, I found that as I would spend time in God's presence and as I prayed, His glory, His manifest presence would come and visit me, whether I was in the shower or at home or in bed or even at church. And every time I came out of His presence, a different person. And so my body was healed. God began to heal my nerves. He began to heal the discs in my back. He had already delivered me and set me free from torment and anxiety. And through all of that, I had developed an addiction to prescription medication because of all of the medications that I had been on for at least 3 years. And so one night I went to bed and I woke up with cold sweats and I thought, God, I feel like I'm so sick right now. And I turned on the television and I was listening to a woman on the screen, a well-known minister, and she gave a word of knowledge and she said, I believe that someone is watching TV right now and you have a prescription drug addiction. And I feel like God is going to right now, where you're at, deliver you from that addiction. And I want to tell you that I felt the fire of God, the presence of the Holy Spirit come over my body once again. And there was heat that just came on my body and He completely delivered me once again from the prescription drug medication.
There you go. Very interesting.
Isn't that a gorgeous story?
The husband slept through it all. I mean, I think that's a kind of supernatural thing, actually. You know, if it's blowing crazy that she's got to hang on to the mattress and the husband's asleep, then most likely that false wind was just for her and not him.
Yeah, of course it was.
You know,
of course, and this is where divine or divinity comes into it, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, how many people have said, I've been in bed with my husband or wife or partner, whoever, and only one of them will have this where they wake up and all this stuff's going on, but the other person, it's like they're in a trance, kept asleep.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing when there's a message for one, no one else will see it.
Yeah.
You know, let's go back to that guy who he had to go to physio at the hospital.
Yeah.
And it was the angel who was fixing him every week. He was going there for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he went back in to say, thank you, you fixed me. And that nurse wasn't even
registered.
there.
No.
They'd never even seen him there.
No.
So how does that work?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I even said it to you that night that we watched that video. The receptionist would have seen him come in every week.
Yeah.
She would have seen him going into that room, but she never thought, hang on, no one's in that room. Why is he going in there for an hour?
Yeah.
It's like they're in this fog because of this divine intervention that's happening.
Yeah.
You know, it's Alison Moyer, if anyone wants to know. We all need love intervention. You know, divine intervention. I love it. You know, Alison Moyer. She was the backing singer for Boy George, by the way.
Was she?
Yeah, Alison Moyer. So, you know, she's got some good songs out there. So that's just a little divert here. But, you know, how many people have these experiences and everyone else is just unaware?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not crazy because that's just the power that they emit when they do their magic. Yeah. And you've got to remember, magic is only science that we don't comprehend yet.
Yeah. Well, you know, just to go back on that mattress scene where you said, most likely they put the guy in trance. Yesterday at Circle, I was doing the meditation in English, and I said it in short sentences. So for those whose English weren't so good, Denise next to me would translate each sentence into German. And so when it's all done, we all go round, what did you get? What did you find? Blah, blah, blah. And this one lady whose English wasn't very good said, well, it was very strange, she said, because I could hear your voice, but they wouldn't let me hear Denise's German voice, the German text.
That's right. Yes.
And that was quite strange because she was someone who really needed the German version of what I'm saying. But Spirit decided, no, you don't. So we're going to block her. Boom. Yeah.
Boom. Wow. Wow.
Anyway.
I don't want to give away what's coming next, but I nearly said what's coming next.
Well, it's KATHRYN KUHLMAN.
Yeah.
Old school faith healer.
Well, that's... Oh, gosh, darling. I wish I had seen this woman. I don't think she's alive anymore, is she?
No, she's passed.
Yeah, I would have loved to have gone and seen her.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and the clothes that she wears. I love what she's wearing, by the way. Any girls out there watching?
Yeah.
Wait till you see what the sleeves on her dress. Yeah. Oh, my gosh, that's me to a T.
Well, I mean,
what she's wearing.
Apart from the fact she's been vilified and called a fraud, which naturally they would.
All the greats are, yes.
Doing a bit of research on her. I've been watching her for weeks, and they do actually say that she actually is pure spirit. And part of this, what you'll see, is taken from some of her ceremonies or sermons that are an hour and a half long, and these were just some clips that they gave. So it really doesn't give you the full capacity of what she does. But I find,
but we get a pretty good idea of what she does, darling.
Yeah. Let's go over and
let's go
listen.
and watch it.
Super impressive. Here we are.
Just then, somebody got an opening for an ear. Hold your ear tightly closed. In just that moment, somebody's ear opened. Where are you? Somebody hears me perfectly. The ear, hold the good ear shut. In that split second, which ear open? Well, come here. My oh, this is glory. Oh, dear Jesus, I worship you. Don't hold on. I give you praise. What is this while she's coming?
A hernia healing.
Dear Jesus, I thank you for this healing of this hernia. Is the power of God. Come here. And you weren't expecting it. Hold your good ear tightly closed. Turn around. Do you hear me now? Say, I love Jesus.
I love Jesus.
Say, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
How long have you been deaf in that ear?
Ever since I was 4 years old.
Ever since you were 4 years old. And how many years ago that's been is nobody's business. Really?
Yeah, 4 years old. I have sons.
Pretty good at church.
In Little Rock, Arkansas, it's the Calvary Baptist Church.
A Baptist church? She almost forgot what church she went to.
Well, really, I'm a Methodist.
But really a Methodist.
Well, I joined the church. I was reared in
Well, whatever she was when she came, she'll never be the same again, I'll tell you that. Hold that ear tightly closed again. Do you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Do you hear me whisper?
I hear your whisper.
Well, that's good enough. Give her a great big God. Go on. That was instantaneous. Who got the overflow? Just a moment of that ear. Who got the overflow? You must know it. There's another ear that was open, and it happened exactly. You, honey. Where were you? In the choir. And it happened the same instant that that woman. Are you that amazed?
Yeah, a little bit.
Which ear opened? How long have you been deaf in it?
Since I was 5.
Since you were 5 years old? The glory that's on you, I wish I could tell. I wish I could tell you. Hold your good ear closed. Do you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
You hear everything I say?
Yes, I do. I hear every word you say.
Are you amazed?
Yeah.
And you've been deaf in that since you were 5 years old?
I had measles.
How much hearing did you have in that ear?
Just, I couldn't understand words. I understand everything you're saying.
Do you hear me perfectly now?
Yes, I can.
You hear me now?
Yes.
You hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now.
I'm gonna have to admit that's God. Dear Jesus, I worship you. Oh,
Brilliant.
Oh my God. You know, it takes a lot for me to get tingles.
Yeah.
Mike, she gave me the tingles.
Yeah.
You know, the back of my calves, right up through my back.
Yeah.
I get these tingles when I just look at her and how she talks.
Yeah.
You know, there's something very, very special about this woman.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, I would have loved to have been in her audience.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, there are some great people out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know, you sit in the audience and you're still that distanced.
Yeah.
But she's no longer alive, but I can feel her energy.
Yeah.
You know, that's how intensive it would have been to actually physically seen her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an amazing woman.
Well, there's tons of stuff of her on YouTube, and I'll put some more stuff of hers up there, because she shows one scene, you know, where she gently touches them, and then the power of spirit comes through and they fall back. Well, they show one where you can see she barely does this, or looks away before she even touches them, and they fall down. She goes, well, there you are. They said, they can't say that I pushed that one over, you know.
Yeah, because she obviously is aware of the critics that she's got.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, she's been vilified and called a fraud, a fake, and you know, great. Now you know you're getting somewhere when you do that.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, the topics that we're not going to discuss on air tonight that we discussed off air before the show tonight, if you're not following what I'm saying, Mike. But, you know, they don't want people like her out there.
No.
They really don't want people coming out that do her abilities. You know? You know, who are you and I, you know? We're still small fry in the eyes of 8 billion people on the planet, you know, but, you know, they really don't want those threats, you know, and as a certain Gil Bates said back in 2005 in a certain video that he did when he was talking about bringing out a certain illness.
Bodily imbalance, Linda.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Or is it energy imbalance, Mike?
Yeah.
But, you know, he said back in 2005, people with psychic abilities were the threat.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want us around.
No.
He really doesn't.
No.
So that's one reason why I lay down. You know, I do the, low down, or I stay low, or
under the radar.
Whatever they call it. I stay under the radar. Thank you. You know, because I don't want to be taken off in a black van to a deep underground military facility at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, as long as I get the word out there to people like you do, you know, that we're all got the innate natural ability to do exactly what all these guests are that we show on our show.
Yeah.
You know, it is amazing when you just put your mind to it.
Yeah.
And what we can actually fathom.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a clue, guys, anyone watching, if you have an ability that you think, oh, yeah, this is really cool, practice it.
Yeah.
Don't tell too many people.
Yeah.
Okay? Especially at this time.
Yeah.
Because the next 2 years is going to be pretty chaotic. There's a lot of things that are about to happen. And after the next 2 years, you know, I was told in 2001, virtually she said from about 2018, because that's when all this scam started, demic, if you put the two words together. It all started in about 2018, and she said it's going to continue till about 2024, 25. And then that's when people will really be waking up to the truth of what these people have been doing, you know. So there's a lot of hurt still to come. There's a lot of grieving yet to be done. And then after that, there is going to be a lot of healing that many will want to receive. And that forgiveness that comes with the healing of those wounds. So if you do have a gift, just keep it to yourself at this time. Thank the gods and the universe that you've got it, and just practice it. Because in a few years, we all have our own abilities. We all have our own niche. We all have our own way or technique of doing stuff. And that's why we're all collectively going to be so important in another 3 to 4 years. You know, someone does this, someone does that, someone. Together we are one, and together we are strong. So
that's a beautiful way to finish, Linda.
Oh, darling, I do try. Come out with the little ending bit. Thank you.
So,
alrighty.
On that note, everyone.
Everybody from Brisbane, I love you all.
And from
Stay
Vienna.
safe wherever you are. Yep. Sorry, Mike, talk over you.
No, that's okay. From Vienna, I say goodbye. And on behalf of Katharina, who's probably still in bed in New York right now.
And our cats that are always in bed.
We say goodbye.
I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed seeing our pets.
Thank you for all your thumbs up. And please, thanks for your patience, because soon this is all going to change. I'm going to be leaving Facebook, or I'm just going to have a page that I can communicate with Linda with, because I can no longer progress with all this suppression that they're giving us now. So it seems that they just do not want, as Linda said, people like us doing our stuff. So I'll be moving out of Facebook. This week I closed down Twitter, Twitch TV, Gab, all these. I've got rid of the whole bloody lot of them. I'm fed up with them.
Let's just go there. Guys, if there's a little thing that I just got told about, you know, I've got her, she talks. She just said, go through your apps on your phone or your computers, get rid of the ones that you don't use all the time. I don't know why she just told me to tell you that, but I'm thinking, you know, I always get like this knowing, so I've got to try and put it into English. The knowing sort of that I get from her saying, get rid of all these apps, is because of the connection, they're networking. You do something over in this app knows about it, and that app knows about it, and it's all getting connected now, guys. So think about what apps that you don't really need on your phone. You've got a few there that you haven't used in months, get rid of them all.
Well,
get them off your phone.
I've just got rid of Viber, which is a communication. I've got rid of WhatsApp on my desktop, and I'm switching everything over to Telegram. So if anyone wants to connect with me, go over to Telegram, because that is much more secure. Then I'm getting rid of WhatsApp. I'm getting rid of my Hotmail account because it's too aggressive, too oppressive. Me talking to you now, whatever we've been talking about, adverts are going to pop up with it.
Oh, yes.
So, you know, I'm getting rid of all this. This is too destructive, too disruptive. And I was actually told this in one of my channeling things, that actually it's not for me to tell you all what to do, but I'll say what was said. We should all leave these corporations, Facebook, Twitter, all these, because they're powerless then. Without us, they are powerless. And so we can find our own way through programs like Telegram and so on.
One little drop for you all tonight, guys. The biggest corporations, who are called the NWO, if you know who I'm talking about, they run out of the unsavory arms. I don't know. Just trying to make up letters for the savory arms, if you know who I'm talking about. So they're the ones presently up against Russia.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're watching the news and you're hearing all this stuff about how bad a certain person is that drinks vodka, please know he is actually getting rid of the NW1, if you know what I'm talking about there. Okay?
Northwest
because Northwest one, thank you very much. Because I talk in code with 3-letter agencies. I use canaries and aviaries a lot. See how it just rolls off my tongue, canaries and aviaries?
Yeah.
They're all in it up to their eyeballs. So is a certain son called Hunter. Look where he was just 3 years ago. They're not talking about him at the moment. And look at all his involvement with a certain country starting with U. So it's all connected, guys. And, I did a tarot 2 weeks ago where I spoke about one person coming out to save us all. And I think I know who that was now. It starts with the letter P because he's doing good work. So don't listen to the media, what they're saying, guys. My lady, she is never wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't trust her impeccably. But, she's been very accurate the last 2 weeks with my personal things that are going on in my own life. And when she's saying that the person starting with P is good and is getting rid of a lot of these NW1s, I have to believe this, that it's really do for the good, Gil Bates, thank God I just put the letters right there, Gil Bates, he's now come out 2 weeks ago saying that he's starting a new illness 2.0 of what just occurred. And guess where they're creating it? Downtown country starting with you. And guess what was bombed only 2 days ago? The bio labs where they're making it. So P is doing good for us, guys. UTIN. So please know she's never wrong, and she's been telling me this stuff this week. All right? So on that note, guys, we're over now, Mike. Sorry to do it to you.
No probs.
From Australia, I love yous all. Stay safe, beautiful, and I'll see yous all next week.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.